Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is him. Ja'Marr Chase is him. St. Brown's him. Keenan Allen went absolutely crazy in week number 10 here. We've got a load of monster performances to talk about. File on in. The Fantasy Football Show Week 10 reaction show. And boy, do I have a reaction for you. It begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks, live after game time, whether it's Thursday, Sunday games, you name it, we are here. We'll be live after the Monday night game, the Thursday night game. We do it live all the time, reacting to the games, and we have such a plethora of amazing performances to go through. There were some bad performances, of course. You know, some guys are continuing to do bad. Pollard is a big concern right now, of course, but man, do we have explosions all over the screen right now. You can see Amon-Ra St. Brown, this monster right here. Keenan Allen went absolutely bonkers. Jahmyr Gibbs is him. Jahmyr Gibbs is him. Jahmyr Gibbs is him. He is him. Him is he. Okay? And this man St. Brown as well. Let's go over these gentlemen's stat lines. I've got the Lions right here. Let me see if I can pull up the Lions game log. I think it's right here. Yeah, there it is. Okay, I got so much on my screen. Monty, 12 totes of the rock for 116 and a tutty. Let's not give Monty some disrespect. Let's give him his flowers as well and send Monty to the moon. This Detroit Lions coaching staff knows what they're doing now with both of these running backs. It's fantastic. And Gibbs, 14, 2 more carries than Monty, 77, 2 tutties. He also had 3 receptions for 35 yards, and he wasn't even used as much as he could have been in the second half of this game. Gibbs is absolutely phenomenal. He's explosive. They gave him goal line carries when he broke off a long potential touchdown run and got tackled near the goal line. Instead of taking him out, and Monty was like running toward the field, they put him back in and they gave Gibbs the goal line carry and they let him score his own touchdown that he should have had on the breakaway run. It was phenomenal coaching. It was a great divide. And when people say, Smitty, why is Jahmyr Gibbs a top 5 to 10 running back? There's science behind it. We've played the science all year, and here it is. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. Just an unbelievable day. Just across the board. Moon men, Mars men, Saturn men, sending players to Saturn left and right. And even though, you know, God, I don't even know where to begin. St. Brown, 8 receptions for 156 and a tutty. What can you say? What can you say at this point other than he is him, him is he? St. Brown and Gibbs are them combined. This is look, Goff had 2 tutties, 333. If you started him, you had a good day. This is a great little game log box score to look at, that Detroit Lion game. Here's another one we got to jump to right away. This guy CeeDee Lamb came into the NFL, doubted. And he's sitting there with his cell phone. His girl tries to take it, and he immediately grabs the cell phone back from her. He had 2 cell phones. His girl tried to take his phone. We knew right then that he wouldn't let things slip through those paws that he has. And CeeDee Lamb is him as well. CeeDee Lamb. Some people got lammed today. Let's just say that. Some people got lammed, and it wasn't us because we do the lambing.
Get lammed.
CeeDee Lamb dropped 11 receptions, 151. He wasn't even the highest yard getter. Look at Brandon Cooks with a 9 for 173 and a tutty. Hats off to Brandon Cooks. But CeeDee Lamb, 11, 151, and a tutty. Oh, wait. He had 2 touchdowns, Smitty. Yeah, look at the rushing. 1 rush for 14 and another tutty. 2 touchdowns. This guy's got one of the most unbelievable streaks going in the history of the NFL with 11 or 10 plus reception games in a row. He's a number one in NFL history in that record. This guy is an absolute phenom. CeeDee Lamb to the freaking moon.
Get lambed.
Unbelievable day out of CeeDee. Now, the negative, we got to talk about negatives as we go. We're going to stay pretty positive today because a lot of people popped off. But Tony Pollard, a big concern. 3.7 yards a carry. This could have turned in a good direction, though. I will say, if he would have punched in a touchdown, they were on the goal line. They threw it to Ferguson after they tried to get Pollard into the end zone. Pollard couldn't punch it through. Wasn't really his fault. He was corralled. It was good, scheming by the defense. But Pollard, 15 carries, 55 yards. The 15 carries are there, but Rico looked really good. Rico, and these stats are not updated right here because I grabbed this right before the game ended. Rico punched in a touchdown. So the starters are all complete, but Rico did punch in a touchdown. Rico had like 8 or 9 rushing attempts at the end of it all. So this is not entirely updated on this particular game log. This one right here, Bijan Robinson. We know Bijan's him. But Arthur Smith is not. And I'm so glad that the Falcons lost today in a very close battle against my Arizona Cardinals. And I'm so glad that Kyler Murray, who came back and looked pretty damn good, I might say, for his first game back from an ACL tear. Kyler Murray, let's go. Kyler Murray leading his team to a victory. McBride looking like an absolute gem. Can we give McBride a standing O? Can we anoint Trey McBride a top 6 tight end moving forward? Look at this man. Look at his stat line here. 8 receptions, a $131, and let's see here. Is this? I don't know if this is. Did this get updated? Did I update this? I think this is his exact stat line. Let me just search real quickly. I don't know. But 8 for 131. McBride, an absolute monster, absolute gem. Let me see if I can. I just want to make sure he didn't catch like another pass or something, because I was trying to grab these and get up here real quickly. It was 8 for 131. That is correct and updated. This guy might be a top 6, at least top 6, 7 tight end. Maybe some would say top 5 tight end moving forward. Trey McBride season's here to stay. Trey McBride is here to stay. He's here to stay. He's here to stay. I say, Bijan 22 totes. Hey.
To the moon.
That's progress here. But what we're hoping is that Arthur Smith gets fired. The fact that this man, Isaac says, I'm done with fantasy. Isaac, you didn't have a good day today? We had so many players popping off left and right, Isaac. How'd you not have a good day today? Don't be done with fantasy. Look, Bijan 22 totes. If the Falcons won this game, it would have enabled and been an enabling move, enabling Arthur Smith to continue to derail this situation. We want Arthur Smith not enabled. We want Arthur Smith dismantled, and we want him to be fired. And 22 carries for 95 yards, 4.3 a pop and a tutty is proof that you get what you pay for if you use it. And Bijan had a pretty damn good day considering they didn't want to use him the entire game. And they continue to give Tyler Algier 9 carries. One of the best goal line backs in the National Football League, says Arthur Smith about Tyler Algier. Look, I'm not trying to rip on Tyler Algier. I like Tyler Algier, but he's no Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson needs to get 22 carries every single game. More importantly, he needs to get the important goal line work. And when it's third down and 1 or 2, and he gives it to Algier, or it's first and goal from the 8, and they throw the ball, or Ritter's running the ball, or whatever the hell's going on in there, It's horrible. And the fact that the Falcons lost is great news because we're inches away from Arthur Smith being fired. Let's hope. Let's hope we are. Drake London 3 for 36. Kyle Pitts 3 for 30. Bijan had 1 catch for 11 yards. Bijan at halftime was the number 1 reception. I'm sorry. He tied for first in receptions at halftime for the team because not one wide receiver at halftime had more than 1 reception. And Bijan had the most yards out of all the wide receivers at halftime with 11 yards. This is a pathetic team, pathetic coach, pathetic GM, pathetic. Everybody involved not removing Arthur Smith right now is pathetic. Everybody, every single one of the people involved in this. Let's get to this bad boy right here, Keenan Allen. If I've ever seen one, look, and this is a me take a lap moment because I wasn't super high on Keenan Allen. This is one of my misses this year. I admit when I miss things, and Keenan Allen has stayed healthy. Keenan Allen was an injury concern for me, and he hasn't gotten hurt. He's been balling. Keenan Allen didn't write back, and he got 11 receptions, 175, and 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen went nuts.
Let's go! Mashed potatoes!
Keenan Allen is an absolute monster. And he said, I'm not done yet. He got injured. It looked like he may have had a potential collarbone AC joint injury. We'll probably hear more about that, him being questionable, because it looked like he did definitely strained his AC joint where your collarbone connects to the shoulder. It's very delicate because only 10 pounds of pressure, roughly 8 or 10 pounds of pressure can break your collarbone. And so when you have this, strained or some sort of injury there, it can definitely lead to more severe injury. So, we'll see what happens with him, but he came back into the game. This guy's a monster. 175, 11 receptions, 2 touchdowns, single-handedly won people their weeks this week. If you face Keenan Allen, I hate to break it to you, but you probably lost if you face Keenan Allen. Eckler 4 for 48. Eckler 67 and a tutty. Eckler had a good day. Justin Herbert kind of off to it was appearing to be a sluggish start, finished with 4 tutties and 323. That's a pretty good day for Justin Herbert. Herbert dropping massive wads all over the place. Congratulations. This is another bad one. Derrick Henry, 11 carries for 24 yards. This is a brutal day for Derrick Henry. Probably ruins any chance of trying to sell him at all on the high. Unless they get him in open space, he can't do anything. He's not quick enough anymore. He's lost his step. Noah Brown. This is a guy that a lot of people had in the start bench questions. And if I didn't scream start Noah Brown, my apologies. 7 of 8, 172 yards. We knew he'd be pretty decent with Nico Collins out. 172 yards and 7 receptions.
To the moon.
To the moon, Noah Brown. You are an absolute gem right now. Noah Brown. Good job. ETN, bad little performance here, but he's tied and beholden to this Jaguar offense, which I admit that T-Law is not looking real good. The milk is spoiled at the current moment, and ETN is a victim, but it is what it is, and if you own ETN, you got to be a little bit worried about whether they're going to be able to keep the offense churning, but I still think he's done so well all year, and they've been up and down the Jaguars, so I'm not too concerned if you own Keenan Allen. I'm sorry, Travis Etienne. Of course, we're not concerned if you own Keenan Allen. But if you own Etienne, I'm not too concerned, and I'd actually even take a couple buy low stabs at him this week, given he's produced all year. Mike Evans says, "Everyone's calling me an old man." Mike Evans, please report to the moon. Your space shuttle is leaving.
The moon.
Evans absolutely exploded. 6 receptions, 143. Dropped another touchdown. He had 1 touchdown, 143. Could have had 2 scores. Absolute monster. And low end wide receiver 1 potentially, going forward. And he's been doing that all year. He's had a couple of puttering moments, but he's back. And Olave. Okay, so Smitty. I get DM after DM. Smitty, it's halftime. Where's Olave? Are we ready to give up on this guy, Smitty? Don't you think Olave? You missed on Olave, Smitty. He's garbage. Do you think it's kind of funny? The moment Derek Carr goes down, and Derek Carr, we wish you well, but take your time coming back, pal. Winston comes in the league's best air yardage machine. Doesn't matter if Winston wins games. Doesn't matter if Winston throws interceptions. Doesn't matter any of those things to us fantasy guys. We love Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston turns Olave into an air yard monster. Is it a coincidence that Derek Carr goes down and the first play in the game is a touchdown pass to Chris Olave? I don't think so. I don't think so. Chris Olave, 6 of 9 targets, 94 yards, and a touchdown. And he had another huge play called back, which was very disappointing. Shaheed, I believe, PI, or it was holding or something on Shaheed, and he screwed this man out of a boatload more. But Olave is back, and we got to hope that Carr's okay, but needs the entire year off. If I could say so in a plain fashion. Carr, take the year off. Golf, do whatever you got to do. We hope you're okay, but you need to sit out and relax for a while and let the young men play some ball. Olave needs to have some air yards, and Winston can deliver them. Winston is the best thing for Olave, and Olave goes straight to where? Where?
To the moon.
As long as Winston's in that lineup, tossing pigskins around like a monster. Hawkinson, look, this was a question. We had a lot of people, and Travis was in here with this one, with a dilemma on Hawkinson or, guys like Dotson. And with Hawkinson being called limited walking to this game, this was brutal. There were so many people, a lot of people that had Hawkinson on their bench. And it's because they had like Kincaid and they had amazing options and alternatives, or they had 2 tight ends that they were rolling with. Hawkinson, man, how are you limited when you catch 11 of 15 targets? There were reports about he'd be on snap counts. He would only be in there on passing down situations. He catches 11 of 15 targets, was tossed around like a rag doll in this game. At one point, he got picked up and flipped and thrown down on the ground. This guy was all over the place, and he's supposed to be hurt. 11 receptions, 134, and a touchdown. Went straight to the moon, but there were a lot of people that were left in the lurch on this one because he was supposed to be limited. That's why you almost have to play, as I said with Jahmyr Chase before that game kicked off, and a lot of people said, Smitty, remember the caller right before? And it's okay, I forget who you are already, so don't take it personally. But called in and started kind of almost arguing with me, like, you sure we're starting Burrow? Because I think Jahmyr Chase is going to be limited. Who said Jahmyr Chase is out? Well, nobody did, but he's going to be limited. Is he going to be limited? Well, no, they didn't say limited, but he's questionable. Okay, so he warmed up and he was okay, so you're going to play him. Like, we got to play people. If they're studs, they got to go into our lineup, whether they're limited, questionable, doesn't matter. And so that's, kind of, you pay the price when you put someone on the bench, and it's a hard decision to make, but I think going forward, we just got to throw studs in no matter what the limitations are. You're going to get burned once in a while. A limited player might actually not play at all, but how many times is a limited player or a player that's supposed to be on a pitch count go absolutely bonkers? There's an example. Joe Burrow, 347 and 2 tutties, 2 interceptions, but had 5 rushes for 20 yards. He had a day, and the pancake stack was in full effect.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
Drop the pancake emojis, Joe Burrow.
Mashed potatoes!
Yeah, buddy.
Joe Burrow to the moon. I love my boy.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
Burrow fed the young man. Where's Jahmyr Chase's stat line when I need it? Do I even have it anywhere? I don't even know if I have Jahmyr Chase's stat line anywhere. I was going to bring it up. Let me see if I can bring it up. Jahmyr Chase. Jahmyr. Game log. Grab that screenshot. Put it on the screen. Right here. Here we go. Jahmyr Chase. I'm sorry, my man. I feel ashamed of myself that I didn't have my Jahmyr Chase graphic prepared and ready to go. But here it is. Appreciate you, Jahmyr. Jahmyr bringing in a whopping, here it is on screen, a whopping There, bottom right, Houston. There we go. 6 targets, 5 receptions, 124. And I cut off the touchdown, didn't I? That's right. You can imagine it. And a tutty. Imagine a tutty right there. You see a little green indication. And a tutty. He had a good day. He had a great day. Joe Burrow had a good day. Granted, the interceptions at the end were kind of a downer, but he could have scored another touchdown. If it was like a 390 and 3 tutties and 1 INT, it would have been a marvelous day. But Joe Burrow definitely was good, and he definitely fed his boy. And this one's very interesting here. Like Alvin Kamara, with Winston coming in, Winston was checking down to him quite a bit right when he got in there. So I do believe we're going to go ahead and roll with buy low Alvin Kamara targets and content. So hang tight on this. We will be buying Alvin Kamara on the cheap. I think people will freak out, but definitely a solid buy low candidate at RB, and Winston should be good for him. And this right here, that's the Chris Olave. Where's the Keaton Mitchell graphic? I have that somewhere around here. Keaton Mitchell, I think it's right. Oh, down here. I got 2 more I got to go over. CJ Stroud, 23 of 39, 356, a touchdown, an interception, and also 2 rushes for 8 yards and a tutty. He just looks the part. He continues to do well. He continues to thrive. He's going to get better. He's a fantastic, sneaky quarterback. Go forward for anybody that's got him. They gotta roll with it. Keaton Mitchell rushed the ball 3 times for 34 yards and 1 touchdown. 34 yards and 1 touchdown. Look like Devon Achane out there. We've talked about it before on the show, and I've even said, whoa, calm down, slow down when we start comparing him to Achane. He's looking like him on the field. He plays a lot like him. And then he catches 1 reception for 32 yards. 34 yards and a touchdown. 1 reception for 32 yards. And then they don't use him. I don't know if he got banged up again or if they're concerned about the injury, but they didn't use him. And it was frustrating watching him do all this in the very beginning, onset of the game, and you didn't get any more of it. It was like, give me some more Keaton Mitchell. He does feel like a set it and forget it flex option going forward. He does have the feeling there's the beginning stages of a Devon Achane unfolding here. And I think it's very important in your flex spot to lock him in, shove him out there, and do it live. Let me see if I can get. There's a couple other players I want to talk about that finished in this last game here. Bijan again, 95 yards and a touchdown. That was a great day for Bijan considering. Laporta, 40 yards, not the best day. Again, Tony Pollard, just so disappointed with Tony Pollard right now. Not necessarily with him, but his usage. And I'm just a little fearful that the staff may potentially mix in Rico a little more. And then what? Then what do we do? So here's again 15 times for 55 yards in the Cowboys Week 10 win. Now, granted, they were up by quite a bit. So it's hard to really know how much Rico is going to get involved going forward. So I wouldn't freak out necessarily, and I'd certainly potentially look to buy low. Dak had quite an afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Dak Prescott, let me put this one on screen. Dak Prescott was an absolute phenom in this game, and Dak is taking things seriously. Let me see if I can get this over here. Hold on. Let me just plug my phone in, and let's do it that way, because I have a few other players that I want to talk about. And I don't necessarily want to keep taking screenshots when I can just share the screen and put it on over here. Hold on. All right, let's share here. So, Bijan Robinson, 22 carries, 95 yards, and a tutty. We'll see what happens next week. Hopefully Arthur Smith gets fired. I'm sorry to say, Arthur, but this coaching isn't for you. Why don't you give FedEx a call, see if your dad will hire you to mismanage something at the management level. 34 yards and a touchdown for Quentin Johnston. That wasn't a bad day at the end of the day. You know, kind of a surprise little finish for anybody that had Quentin Johnston and they weren't expecting much. He kind kind of did something right there at the end of the game. Let me just move that around a little bit. Okay, let's hit this graphic here. CeeDee Lamb, we talked about him, 151 and a touchdown. Keenan Allen, 175 and 2 touchdowns. Jamison Williams, 18 yards. Dak Prescott, here's Dak Prescott, 26 of 35 for 404, 4 touchdowns and 1 interception, and also had a touchdown on the ground. Did you hear what I said? He had 4 touchdowns and 1 interception in the win over the Giants, adding 17 yards and a touchdown on 2 carries. What a day for Dak Prescott. St. Brown, 156 and a touchdown. We talked about him. Austin Eckler, 67 yards and a touchdown and 48 yards through the air. Kyler Murray, 249 and an interception. Definitely think Kyler Murray's, going to be on the verge of startable very soon, if not next week. David Montgomery, 12 rushes for 116. We went over that. There's Gibbs' line, 77 and 2 touchdowns. It looked like a monster today. Herbert, again, had a good day. I was trying to find some other stats. I think we maybe got through all of it. I'll come back to this once I have more. But Kenneth Walker. We wanted to talk about Kenneth Walker. I wanted to pull up Kenny Walker's stats. That's what I came here to do. So, and I got Seattle. Let me pull up Seattle's. I can do this. This will be easier. I'll pull up Seattle's stats and we'll go over the Seattle game in general. But and then I'll take some super chats and we'll dig into the rest of this questions, super chats, phone calls, and then dig into this game that's upcoming here. Let me put the game on as well. Thank you for everybody being in here. We got 424 of you in here and only 69 thumbs up. So punch that thumb up button if you could. Those are rookie numbers right now. Rookie numbers right now, ladies and gentlemen, 69 thumbs up. All right, here's the box score. Let me share this box score Bobby with you right here. This is the Washington-Seattle Seahawks game. And quite honestly, there was concern going into this game for Kenneth Walker, who ran the ball 19 times for 63 yards and more importantly had the 1 reception for 64 yards and a touchdown. But there's something here you should notice. He's touchdown dependent and big play dependent because the volume isn't necessarily plentiful for him every single game in and game out. So the good news though is that he seems to find he has a nose for the end zone. He's always had a nose for the end zone. He's had a nose for big plays. He's had a nose for space. I made it abundantly clear when he was drafted that everybody that said he wasn't a good receiving back was going to be made a fool in time. And I think we see proof of that. I know 1 reception for 64 yards and a touchdown is not proof of massive usage, but he is one of the most capable receiving backs in the National Football League. It's not his fault that they haven't deployed him that way. I think when they do, successful things happen. 1 catch for 64 yards and a tutty. He's the best space navigator in the league. You get him out in the flat or an open space, he can navigate and gravitate like a magnet toward open space and continue to march down the field in different angles and hitting different pockets and gaps in a defense all over the place. That's what he does. That's his specialty. That's why he finds the end zone, is he goes to the most open space. Once he gets there, the defense collides. He goes to the next open space. He's not a Breece Hall, couple cuts and he's gone, and if you can catch him, then you can catch him. If you can, it's a touchdown. That's Breece Hall's style of running, and there's nothing wrong with that. We love Breece Hall and his style of play. But with this guy, Kenneth Walker, he is a kind of Marshall Falkish, all over the field type of zigzag, go left, go right, go backwards, go forwards type of runner, and he's very, very good at it. Am I still a little concerned at the fact that, he needs these touchdown opportunities in order to salvage like 63 yards? If he had not had that touchdown, 19 carries for 63 yards would have been a pitiful game. We would have been out here saying this is bad. What do we do with Kenneth Walker? 63-yard touchdown reception sends him to the moon. And that's how fickle fantasy football is. And we have to understand that, it is what it is. You can't take away his touchdown. And I love Kenny Walker. I'm not saying sell him. I'm just saying there could be potentially some ups and downs. Kenny Walker is the man. And everybody that doubted him walking into this week, shame on you. And everybody that gave him away for free in a trade because you were worried, you're a worried William or a petrified Peter, shame on you. And I have a little animation for you.
Kenneth Skywalker. lightsaber swinging Skywalker.
The stack above all stacks. It's time to drop the pancake emojis in the live chat.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
And if anybody in here feels that this guy right here is not a top 5 running back, I have some science and some education for you. So why don't you watch this little number? But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. This man, Jahmyr Gibbs, he looks better than Kamara looked coming out of college, more prepared to become Kamara. Schmitty, did you just say Gibbs was more prepared to become Kamara than Alvin Kamara was prepared to become Kamara?
No.
Get lammed.
A lot of goodness happened today. Today was a good day, ladies and gentlemen. There was some bad Pollard. There was a lot of good. There was a lot of intrigue. Keaton Mitchell, see what happens there. This guy, Trey McBride. There's so much good. There was so much good and such little bad. This was one of the best weeks. This is close to as good a week as we had in one of those, whichever one that Fields week was that he did amazing and everybody else exploded. This was a freaking day. Congratulations to everybody that had a bunch of successful teams ball out today.
Mashed potatoes! Yeah, buddy.
And your boy was really close on Underdog. I've since dropped, but there was a time on Underdog Fantasy today where your boy in the Week 10 gauntlet was really close. I was in 33rd place. Let me show you my team. This was in about midway through the afternoon games, like a little bit after, I think, halftime or so. I had 2 teams that were really in the race, and first place gets $25K. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Make sure you hit this link that I'm putting in the live chat right now. Underdog will match your first deposit. They'll double it up to $100. Double your first deposit up to $100, and we'll be drafting for week 11 here very, very soon. Probably tomorrow night, the next night. We'll try and hit the drafts harder. But in a week 10 gauntlet draft, I drafted these 2 teams out of I think I drafted 8 teams. And this one was in 33rd place out of 65,500 and something plus entries. It was in 33rd place. Hawkinson, Evans, Jahmyr Chase, Monty, Kamara, and Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow. And then the second team, Lamar, Kamara, Gibbs, Chase, Dell, Hawkinson. So I was rooting for Gibbs and Monty. When Monty ripped off his big long run, this team right here was ranked 200 something, jumped straight up to 33rd. I was so close. I was scratching at the surface. Had Monty or Gibbs had an even bigger day, had they fed them each another touchdown, or one of them 2 more touchdowns, or another 50 to 80 yards and a touchdown, I have a feeling I would have been inside the top 5 or 10 out of 60 or 55,000 entries. Such a bummer, but it was really fun riding that roller coaster ride and being in 33rd place for a majority of the day. 33rd to 60th. It kept going from 33rd to 60th, 60th to 33rd, 35th to 60th, 40th to 65th. I was floating in there. And then I sailed into the thousands as soon as somebody else had something happen. It's crazy how close it can be, but it was fun. I mean, 25K on the line. It's so fun. So I urge you all to get on over to Underdog. The link is, let me put the link. I'm going to pin the link in the live chat right now. And if you guys want to get in there, and all you got to do is click this link. Let me see if I can pin the link real quick. Hold on one second. Let me find Let me find, let me see if I can find the link and pin it. So I'm going to get to the super chats right now, and then we're going to get to some phone calls and then the game. Is the game started yet? Let me see if I can pull the game up here. I'll put the game on, that way I don't miss it, because sometimes I'm live and I have no idea that the game is even started. And then your boy ends up hearing somebody in the chat go, Smitty, Brees Hall scored. And then I'm going to be like, holy crap. All right, so let me pin this link. I'm going to drop it one more time. I urge you all to join Underdog Fantasy using code Smitty or this link right here. The link will insert code Smitty for you. We'll be drafting, and you too can try and get yourself a squad like I had that's in the top, 50, 30, and you're just sweating trying to win that 25K each week. So appreciate you all. Let's hit these super chats, and then we'll get some phone calls. Burglar with the first super chat of the day. That gets a standing O. That's my boy Burglar. Burglar, appreciate you. Have Mahomes, Kyler, ETN, Pollard, Kyron, Monty. Just traded Mahomes and Pollard for amon-ra. Still have Debo. That's a lot, bro. I don't blame you, but that is a lot. I don't blame you for wanting to trade Pollard. You're freaking out, but holy crap, bro. That is a lot. I guess I don't know. Chat, do you think you gave up too much, or do you think Pollard is worth throwing into that deal? It's tough to say, Burglar. Let's see what the chat thinks. I don't think it's... I think it depends on how you feel you match up against everybody now that you lost some of that depth, but that is definitely a lot to give up. It depends also on Mahomes, but I think Mahomes is going to bounce back on a terror. So that's just me. I know a lot of people disagree, but that's okay. Not a lot of people. Some people disagree. Some people don't think Mahomes is going to be the same Mahomes of old. But I'm curious to know if people would rather have Mahomes and Pollard. I got it too much. Nah, too much. I'm down with 46 with Brees and Javonte and Kincaid left to play. Let's go, Sickness. You got this, bro. It looks like that's too much according to most people. Jedi, appreciate your super chat here, my guy. Wife traded Pacheco for amon-ra straight up. Got him.
Got him.
that's the work leagues are the best, Jedi. Benny with the super chat. Smitty, Dynasty Quest, what the heck do I do? Christian Watson, I'm rebuilding, so I have time, but offer an early second for him right now. I'm not getting rid of him for a second, bro. He's still got potential value. Like, and I look, I'm not defending that you start him right now, but he had two touchdown targets. He was in the end zone. Two end zone targets where he's in the end zone. That final play that could have won the game was to Christian Watson, and it, again, was thrown right in between his hands and a defender's hands. It's like, what could he do? It's partly love, but like I can't defend him. But what could he do? Two touchdown targets that were thrown into traffic. Like, he's still amazing. It's just he's not playing well at all, and I'm not going to cut him, and I'm not going to... Don't wash your hands of him. Just put him on the bench and wait. Stop with Burrow BS. Oh, come on, Ron. Appreciate the $20 hauler, by the way. Don't come in and say Burrow BS. He had a great day. What are you talking about, Ron?
Alert. Super chat alert.
I wondered if Ron was going to think Burrow didn't do good. Look, Burrow had 300 plus yards and 2 tutties, and he was trying to force some things at the end and threw some INTs. We play fantasy football, Ron, and Burrow had a day. He lost in the game and deserves Uranus, not moonshots. Keep it honest, Smitty. Just saying. Joe Burrow.
To the moon.
Ron. I love you, though, Ron. Minding my own text. Thank you for the $20 hauler, Ron. Tua, ETN, Swift, JT, Hill, Cup, Olave, Hopkins, Rice, Pitts, Goddard, 49ers, Saints. I'm on a 4-game losing streak. I may not even reach the playoffs, says Minding My Own. Tua, ETN, D, Swift, JT, Hill. Well, bro, first of all, you have Hill on a bye. Cup's been slumping. Olave's been missing, but is back. Hopkins has been hit and miss. Swift has tailed off. Tua's been playing bad. This team could come around, and you're better off letting it ride than shipping somebody off and not having it, changing lanes on the freeway, and then the lane you get out of starts going fast, and the lane you jump in that was going fast comes to a halt. I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. If I'm you, I still like all of these players you have. Unless you're trading Swift and, like, let's say Swift and Hopkins for, like, one player, bro. Like, one player. Swift and Hopkins for, maybe you trade Swift for Pollard and you take a chance on Pollard. Like, something like that where you're going after a doubted player. We'll come up with a buy low list, too, this week.
To the moon.
Ron, you go to the moon too, by the way.
To the moon.
Ron to the moon, but I'm sorry to say Joe Burrow's waiting for you there.
To the moon.
That's the only thing. I'll send you to the moon, Ron. Ron gets to go to the moon, but he's gonna be pissed off when he sees that I already sent Joe Burrow to the moon. Smitty, thank you for giving me that advice about Josh Allen. Traded him for Jahmyr Chase, and he scored 27 points in my league. Once Kyron is back, I'm going to destroy my league. CJ and Gibbs to Saturn.
To Saturn.
Appreciate you, and great job with your trade, broski. Pros, appreciate you. Nice work. Ian, $5 hauler. CD Lamb is him. Get lammed, bro. Get lammed.
Get lammed.
To Saturn.
I mean, CD Lamb's on Saturn. He's on Saturn. Smitty, I know we had our doubts, but I'm glad I trusted my gut. I am on a 6-game winning streak. Ian?
You've just been Smitty approved.
To Saturn.
Appreciate you, Ian. Ian to the moon. Ian dropping a super chat there. Steven with the final super chat of the moment that I have on my docket, and then we're going to open the phone lines. I have Dak, Howell, Fields, Stevenson, Foreman, Gus, Keaton, Warren, Chase, Amon-Ra, DJ Moore, London, Hawkinson, McBride. Make a trade or hold. Dak is your guy right now, bro. You're riding that Dak train. I mean, he's playing great. Gus Bus is okay. Keaton Mitchell's on the rise. Okay, so you kind of have something here. Stevenson played well. Amon-Ra, Chase, yeah. If it's me, I'm Hawkinson, McBride. Sell McBride high. I like the depth as well, but sell McBride high. Sell him with DJ Moore. Sell him with maybe Stevenson or a Fields, or if someone needs a quarterback, and try your best. Go shop for a free Tony Pollard. Go shop for a doubted Cooper Kupp. Go shop for imagine Chase, Amon-Ra, and Kupp, bro. Chase, Amon-Ra, and freaking Puka. Or better yet, go get Achane, Stevenson, DJ Moore, and Fields if the Achane owner needs a quarterback, or McBride if they need a tight end. Those are some maneuvers that I would make. Rock out with a $2 hauler. But Smitty, I want to go to Mars. We're gonna have a Mars button soon enough. Don't worry, we will. I put the Saturn in there because we sent Jahmyr Gibbs there. He's
to Saturn.
Gibbs is the first ever player to go to Saturn ever. We sent him there last game, and he's there again this game. 3 straight games in a row. Can trade Monty for Bijan pull the trigger? I don't know that I would. That's so tough because Monty's going to continue to play well. He's going to continue to ball, bro. This Lions team's going to run both of them. I would say that Monty's safer. I hate to say that, but he's safer, bro. He just is.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Call into the Christopher Smith phone line. Anybody that drops a $431 hauler or higher will own the phone line for November and December. I'm going to make it both months until somebody knocks them off. And I gave Wheel Snipe City his own emoji. So can we drop the Wheel Snipe City emoji, please? It's in there. It's going to be temporary, and for as long as he hangs around doing Wheel Snipe City things. I wanted to... Look, I can't give everybody permanent emojis, all the time. I rarely can ever hand that out. But he certainly deserves the temporary of revolving emoji. So Wheel Snipe City, drop the Wheel Snipe City emoji for the man. Let's go to the phone lines. 916 caller, who's this and where are you calling from?
Calling from Sacramento. You're looking ripped in that black shirt, man.
Dude,
Just want to say I have Saquon Barkley. I've been trying to trade him since week 3. He has absolutely no value, no hope. I have no idea what to do with him.
Yeah,
Please help me,
you
buddy.
said you're Rick from where? I'm sorry, I'm trying to type it in here.
Oh, I'm calling from Sacramento.
Rick, right? Okay.
No, my name's Sam. I said you're looking ripped in that black shirt.
Sam. Do you say Pam or Sam? Pam with the P? Pam?
Sam with a Sam
Pan?
like
Pan? P-A-N? Have you
Sam with an S.
It's from Step Brothers, bro. You got to watch Step Brothers.
Man.
Don't you remember that?
Went
Pam?
way over my head.
Yeah. But hey, I appreciate you calling in. And what was the question, real quick, Ron? I'm trying to answer the line, but until I get Sam off, it won't let me. Let's see if it lets me add Alex Cruz.
Smitty, my question was: I've been trying to trade Saquon since week 3.
Yeah.
Everyone's been trying to take advantage of me, take amon-ra with Saquon, take one of my best receivers. Now he has absolutely no value with DeVito. I'm just out of carrots. I'm out of sticks, brother. What do I do?
Puka, Cup, Tony Pollard, doubted players. Tony Pollard's doubted. Maybe go get Tony Pollard, but it's risky. Maybe Saquon's better than Pollard. We don't know.
Right,
Hey, call back in because it's not letting me add anybody else. Call right back in. Jay, I'm going to add Jay, Ron, Alex, Cruz. I saw you guys calling, but sometimes someone's phone carrier won't let them be on a 3-way. It's weird. I don't know. It's strange. But call back in. Jay, you got 30, bro. What can I do for you?
Hey, Smitty, I'm going to win this week, so I'm hyped. Go Gibbs. But
To the moon.
4-6, and I'm trying to figure out how I can turn Debo into Devontae Adams. Do you think that would be a straight up deal, or what else could I throw?
I think they're both pretty dead even, man. I love Debo Samuel right now. Debo looked phenomenal today. Now they can definitely spread things around in San Francisco, so it's possible he has some down games. I think tonight's going to be a tough night potentially for Adams at times, but I'm hoping Adams does break free and scores and has like a very respectable day. But it could be tough sledding for him for a big portion of the game. But he's Adams. He's special. He's a special route runner. So I'm hoping he scores. But if he does badly, my guess is you'll be able to get more. You could trade Debo for an Adams who's playing bad again another week. If he does bad, if he has a great day, I think it still might be doable. They'll probably be pretty even.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll report back to you.
Yeah, but I mean, I wouldn't feel bad about having Debo Samuel. Quite honestly, bro, I think Debo has the feel. I don't want to say like low end wide receiver 1 because that's locking him into like 10, 11, 12 for wide receivers, and that's a tall order. But I think he's certainly capable of dancing right around that territory for big parts of the year, and his inconsistency is what will knock him out. But I think he's got that capability. I would say Adams has the most capability of any wide receiver anywhere near Debo's value territory to be a top 5 to 10 wide receiver again. Like, I think Adams certainly could. Now, we'll have to see what is in store for O'Connell. Keep in mind, O'Connell is he's a good thrower. He's a good thrower. He could throw the ball down the field. They just didn't utilize him that way last week. They made him manage the game. Again, the Jets D is this matchup tonight, and so we'll see how much O'Connell throws again. But I certainly believe that O'Connell's not going to limit Adams from delivering the same stats he was delivering at times with Jimmy. Jimmy could target him, but Jimmy is so bad that it was inconsistent. The offense wouldn't sniff the end zone. Like, Jimmy had like 2 games where he did score well. There's no reason why O'Connell can't feed Adams that kind of production and target share. So it's coming. I would rather have Adams by a hair, but it's a little riskier. Debo is probably a tad safer. All right. Appreciate you, Jay.
Thanks, Smitty.
All right. Ron Navy. Hello.
Yeah, Burrow lost in the game. 2 red zone interceptions. How do you say he went to the moon? He lost in the game.
He lives on the moon, Ron. He lives on the moon. First of all, this is a fantasy show.
He lost them the game.
This is a fan. I hear you, Ron, but no one in here feels like he should be going to Uranus.
That's the winning field goal.
There's no one in here feels like he should be going to Uranus. Nobody.
Warren deserves a moonshot. 101 yards and a touchdown. Najee, 85
Why can't you be happy?
Warren.
Why you got to pick something negative tonight? There's so many good players popping off. Why you got to focalize?
There is.
Why you got to focus on one thing? Why can't you come in and go, "Yeah, boy, we had him do good." Why you got to you're sitting there like
Even when Burrow has
it's kind of
a crappy game that cost them the win, you still shoot him to the moon. You're not critical on him.
I don't understand. This feels very complaining Caleb of you to come in and say like can't you just identify some positive stuff? It's like you're sitting there waiting. There it is. There's my in. There's my negative Noah in. I'm going after the Burrow comment. There's a lot of comments I made, Ron, you probably agreed with. Why do you got to cling to the negative one that you feel's negative? No one else in here feels like I should send Joe Burrow to Uranus.
You didn't mention anything positive about the Steelers, did you? You didn't mention anything positive about
I haven't. So because I didn't talk about your Steelers, you're upset and want to come for Joe Burrow, my golden boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know me. I'm not taking notes. I'm sending you on 20 laps. In fact, you're lucky you stopped doing the working out stuff because I would have you working out all night long.
All right, Ron. Every time you drop a 20 tonight, I'll work out. Challenge on if you dare. All right. Hey, hold on, Ron. Hang tight. Alex, what can I do for you?
Hey, Smith. So with Achane coming back, currently my running backs are Kamara, Swift, Cook, Gus, and Achane Charbonnet. So I'm wondering if I should make a trade or just hold out for some depth.
Okay. So Achane, who are your starters? Achane. Say it again.
Kamara, Swift, Achane. I got James Cook. I got Gus. I got Charbonnet. All right, so those are my running backs.
Okay.
Now, and then I have Waddle and Ayuk, and I have Addison.
Ayuk, Waddle, and Addison. Okay. And
with Kelsey, Josh Allen.
Okay, so I mean, hey man, Allen and Kelsey are freaking amazing, like, core there. Because when you said that to me, I'm like, okay, I'm hoping he has at least one of Kelsey or a big name quarterback. You got both, so that's fantastic. That's really good. Achane, I believe, is also one of those big centerpieces. I think Kamara is a great buy low. I'm not too concerned. You're a big Saints fan. I think you can agree that Winston coming into the lineup is going to be good for everybody. And as soon as Winston walked in to the lineup, threw a touchdown pass immediately to Olave. And he's an air yard monster. And Olave is an air yard consumer. And as soon as Winston got in there, he started checking down to Kamara. They were throwing a lot of short passes to him. He didn't have, a lot of yards totaled up. But I think I don't think I freak out on Kamara. Not to mention his value took a dip today in most people's minds that are going to buy a player. So I don't think you can get rid of him in a way that would make sense anyway. Swift, he's on a buy. He didn't lose value. He's kind of lost value lately though. I think maybe Swift is somebody you potentially explore to trade. I kind of don't mind selling Ayuk on the high. I like Ayuk, but I feel like he'll be up and down. I would definitely try and trade Swift and Ayuk for one player. And so, we just got to come up with the right player. ETN there might be a way in for ETN today. People might be freaking out about ETN. People are so fickle, bro. They'll flip on a player like that. I think that would be a good move. So Swift and Ayuk for ETN. Swift and Ayuk for, I don't think you get JT, but you could still try. His owners are weird. They either love him or they still worry and they just try and get rid of him at first sign of any sort of production because they still fear Moss, whatever.
Moss, he didn't get any chance.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. JT feels like he's in good positioning, but he's still potentially doable for that combo, though. I would say Walker's interesting for Ayuk and Swift, but given you have Sharps, but I don't know. I feel like you should be getting a little more there. I also feel like,
Adam?
yeah. So Yeah, so where I was going to go next is that I don't know that the RB, like HN you already got. I don't know that the RBs are a good target here. I would say your best bet is to go for the wide receiver upgrade using Swift. So exactly. So the problem is if Adams goes nuts tonight, it'll be hard for you to do that. If he struggles, it'll be easy to do it. And you might want to ask for more. So I'd say the best targets are Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams. Jahmyr Chase is no longer available. He was injured and available heading into this week. People were selling him kind of on a knee jerk, like, oh my God, I can't wait for him to get healthy now if he's injured or he's going to play limited. What's going on with that? And he popped off. There's no way he's gone and off the table. But Adams, Cooper Kupp, I guess, if I'm trying to come up with a couple other wide receivers that make sense. I mean, Diggs is probably asking a lot, but it's possible you could send Ayuk, Swift, and another player like Gus Bus or something for Diggs. It's certainly possible. I've seen people do it. It's not like it's anybody watching going, oh, that wouldn't happen in my league. These kind of things happen all the time. That's why everybody's up in arms about trades almost every single week in almost every single league that has an active trading community, because people make bad trades and everybody complains about it all the time. So be the guy that's putting somebody in their place and maybe, offer a Gus Bus, Ayuk, and Swift for a Diggs. I would just go swing big, bro. St. Brown, Diggs. St. Brown's going to be near impossible to get right now, but you know what I'm saying. That's probably the best move for this team. Achane, Kamara, let it ride. Maybe even see who's got Keaton Mitchell and try and get a wide receiver with Keaton Mitchell, and hopefully that team that wants to do that has Keaton Mitchell and you can get him thrown in. Would I throw in a Cook, a Gus, an Addy, an Addison to get some big deal done? Probably. You could also keep Addison, and I just think Waddle's. It's not that Waddle's an injury risk for sure, but I feel like he's got a bigger name. You're able to sell him for a little bit more. Is my only hesitation. But I really like your team. It's solid, bro. But Adams and Kupp would be, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of depth. I've just been wondering if I should upgrade or not. Oh, I also have Dotson, but he just blew me the week. So.
Yeah, Dotson. God, Dotson crapped the bed again. It sucks because hey, Alex, appreciate you. Alex, the first ever. Guys, you're talking to a legend right here. Alex Cruz is the first ever YouTube exclusive member. He was my first one. Like when I go through and I you can see all of your members and I sort, he is the first one at the very, very bottom. All right, appreciate you, Alex. Later.
Thank you.
Yeah, dial in, guys. If anybody wants to talk real quickly, the game's starting right now, so we're not going to stay live too long. Super chat here from FSZB, $20 hauler. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
That's my boy. Where is that? Kyler, Josh Jacobs, JT, Diggs, Adams, Hawkinson, Olave, Watson, Godwin, Sharps, Roshan, Dotson. Trade Hawkinson and Kincaid, or Hawkinson for Kincaid and Achane. I would take Kincaid and Achane if it was me. Absolutely. And remember, you're not giving him the points that Hawkinson got you this week. So let him live in that world. You get to keep it. Hawkinson won't necessarily do that every week. Not that he can't, but I would take Kincaid and take Achane. Achane's a top 5 running back. Did we talk about how Tank Dell is him? Tank Dell is him. And he could have been an even bigger him. There was a couple plays. He had a big PI. There's a whole lot that went on. Tank Dell could have a lot more bang for the buck this week, but he still was
to the moon.
Absolutely a joy to watch. We love our boy Tank Dell. Thank you, Jedi. Appreciate you. How about them Texans, says Ninja. Appreciate you in the final super chat to catch up, and then we might head out, and then I'll let Ron Navy say bye. Turns out I got the weather report wrong for my team. Report dark and stormy with a tsunami strike with Dak to Pluto. Chase and Evans on the moon with Monty and Dell. up 167 to 126 with Jacobs and Kincaid still to go. Oscar, that's phenomenal, bro.
To the moon.
That's fantastic. Congrats on that team, bro. Appreciate your super chat. Thank you for the $10 hauler. And we have one more caller here from, is this Cap? Cap from Florida, our traditional weatherman. Cap, how is it in Florida over there? What's going on?
Hey, man, it's nighttime right now. And right now, for me, I need to find out, bro, if it's nighttime for me. Is it night at 3 and 6? Is it possible for me to make a comeback? Is it doable for me right now to make big-time trades with the squad that I'm about to name?
All right, hurry up because I'm out of time, so hurry, go.
Okay, big-time names I got. I got ETN, I got Puka, I got Sun God. Do I start coughing up bodies to get more bodies to help this squad that I got man down, bro. Man down. I repeat, man down.
Keep reading the team, bro. Keep reading the team. Devontae Adams, reception.
Okay, well,
boom.
I got Kittle. I got Derek Carr just went down. I got Taysom Hill, but I don't know what the hell happened to him. I got Henderson. I got Singletary. I got, it's slim pickings right now.
That's
man.
your team? Who's your quarterback, bro, besides Carr? You don't have another quarterback besides Derek Carr?
Well, I had to make moves in the beginning of the season. I had Jalen Hurts. I gave him up.
But when Joshua Dobbs was there, didn't pick up any of those guys and assembled some massive, hopeful crew. Definitely, if this ever happens in a future year, you just got to consume everybody that's available and just hope one of them turns into something. Like an O'Connell, potentially even, we'll see what he does tonight. It's a tough matchup, but O'Connell.
I picked up Heineke, but I don't know what the hell happened to him.
He's hurt. So that's
all the guys I picked up, ironically enough, all got hurt.
You're in some trouble. I think this team is not, no offense, not good enough to win. You've got to make a trade. So I'd say a good thing for you is Amon-Ra went crazy. Good thing for you, Kittle went absolutely bonkers. ETN and Puka I probably hold on to unless you can get someone to pay actual value, which I don't think they will, coming off of a bye week and down game and concern for. I just keep Puka, keep ETN. So Amon-Ra for 2 players, bro. So you got to go to teams that have, like Devon Achane and a wide receiver.
A backup quarterback.
Devon Achane and a wide receiver. Maybe you use Kittle to get that quarterback upgrade. Go to the teams that have 2 quarterbacks. Somebody probably has an extra quarterback that has Dak. Somebody that has Stroud probably has an extra quarterback. Somebody that has Kyler probably doesn't need him, or they have an extra quarterback. So you got to go to.
Well, for Insanity, she got Kyler. She got freaking
Who?
The 49ers quarterback and freaking Fields. She got 3 quarterbacks, but she don't want to cough them up.
Who's she?
That's one of my league. Sorry about that. No, I just got caught in the moment. But yeah, bro.
What's her name? Felisa? What's her name?
Finsanity 5.
Finsanity 5. Okay. Well, dial her up and see if you can get a deal done, bro. But you got to. I can't really tell you what teams have these combos, but you got to go to teams. Trade Amon-Ra for Achane and a wide receiver. Trade Amon-Ra for Debo and a running back. Go. Let's say Breece Hall has a mediocre day today. Breece Hall is going to be one of those targets, and what wide receivers are available on that person's team? Tony Pollard's available with the wide receiver now. Cooper Kupp, even though you got Puka, screw it. You got to throw everything at this, bro. Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra for Cooper Kupp and a running back.
Go to Keaton, bro. I'm gonna do it.
Maybe an Amon-Ra for Cooper Kupp, and someone's got Keaton Mitchell, and you take a stab at that, and he ends up becoming something special. But I love Achane. Go after Achane. Go do it live. I got to go. Call in, and we'll do more later, right, Cap. Appreciate you later. All right, Ron, any final thoughts? Oh, Garrett Wilson with a nice catch. Woo!
They got Devontae a couple of short passes.
Yeah,
established him.
Did you see that thread of the needle? Like Zach Wilson, I'm just going to put this out here. Every once in a while, he makes a great throw, but then he's garbage the next 8 plays. But he threaded the needle on this one, and Garrett Wilson caught this in traffic. It got clotheslined. It was great. Garrett Wilson. So God, I just dream of Aaron Rodgers throwing to this man. That was a nice throw and catch. Anything else, Ron?
Nah, just that,
Burrow to the moon?
Howell deserved to go to the moon. He was our QB2. Prescott was QB1.
Oh, Garrett Wilson!
Dobbs to Minnesota was QB3.
Garrett Wilson! Garrett Wilson's going to the moon.
To the moon.
He needs some touchdowns.
All right, Ron. We'll see you later, pal.
Yeah. Love my Steelers. 101 yards.
Joe Burrow to the moon. Appreciate you.
Crash.
To the moon.
People are getting burrowed left and right, and people are going to remember it.
Get burrowed.
340 yards and 2 touchdowns. He wants to send him to planet Uranus. Doesn't make any sense. Oh, Zach Wilson, what are you doing, bro? Was that a fumble? Oh, that was awful. That's what I'm saying. Thread the needle, fumble the ball. Throw 2 good plays, 3 bad plays. Feel like I got to win out. QB's Purdy, T. Law, running backs Hall, Gibbs, H.N. Monty, Diggs, amon-ra, Debo. It's a great team, though, bro. McBride's coming on just in time. I like your team. I'm letting it ride. The only thing I'd maybe consider doing if I'm you is saying H.N., Monty, and Hall, and Gibbs. Maybe you could trade one of those guys. Maybe. But I'd let Hall play this game, see what his value looks like. But it would be interesting to see, like, could you get... can you even play more than 3 wide receivers? If you can't, then you're good to go. I like this team. Jay, that's a really good team, though. I wouldn't fret. That's a really, really good squad. It's not your fault. You probably have a lot of points against, too. Appreciate you all. I will see you all later. I need 60 points, says Piff. Okay. Thank you all for filing in. Thank you all for the super chats. You guys absolutely rock. Thank you to FSZB for the $20 hauler. Thank you, Ron Navy, for the $20 hauler. Thank you all for your super chats. Please hit that thumb up button on the way out. We've got 272 of you people in here. You amazing, wonderful people. And 144 thumbs up. We could hit that thumb up button a little more, though. That's the only thing I'm going to ask. See you all later. I may be back after this game. I may not. It depends. Sometimes I come back a second time. And sometimes I don't, but we'll see. You know, if I'm amped up, Breece Hall scoring touchdowns, and Devontae Adams scoring touchdowns, you probably can bet your bottom dollar I'll be back. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Live whenever big news breaks, and live after the games, whether it's Thursday, Monday, or Sunday, to recap the game or said games. Deuces, appreciate you. Catch you later. But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10.
Kenneth Skywalker. Kenneth Lightsaber Swinging Skywalker.
Breece Hall is 8 foot tall. He will always answer the mother freaking call. Don't let him fall. In the third, don't stall. Just give Batman the freaking football.
He's Breece. He's Breece.
He does a hull of a job. A hull of a job. A hull of a job.
Breece Hall, please report to the moon.
He does a hell of a job.
Get Breece.